Hello everyone and welcome back to DC TV. I'm your host, Goblin in Green, here to bring you the latest review. Now I just watched episode 3 of The Flash, season 1. And one of the best episodes I've seen so far. And I know I say that about every episode. But this one in particular is fucking gold standard. Fucking booster gold standard, man. So, basically the plot. The plot is another Villain of the Week episode. You know, to be expected. Last episode was the same, so this one, blah. The villain of this episode is the Mist. Very formidable opponent, I must say, for the Flash. A completely, a man who can transform himself into poisonous gas. His powers are awesome and the effects on them are done very, very well. His story is the basic revenge plot, you know. These people betrayed me, so I'm gonna go and, you know, I'm gonna go kill them. So it's very general, normal kind of plot, but it carries the story well enough. But I don't think the bulk of the story is about that. The bulk of the story is about flashbacks. See what I did there? The bulk of the story is about flashbacks. Now this is the episode where they show you what happened the night of the particle accelerator explosion that made all these metahumans and different people like the Flash and you know, stuff like that. The flashback scenes were very, very well done for such a, as I might say, chaotic and just destructive force that ever happened on the show. It shows the night of the explosion, and you see the Snow and her, Caitlin Snow and her boyfriend are working at the lab that night that they turn it on, and you know something goes wrong. So her boyfriend gets Cisco and tells him, you know, we got to go down and we got to go fix this so we won't create a giant explosion that will kill everyone. Kill everyone. So Ronnie and Cisco are running down, you know, they get to the door, and Ronnie tells Cisco, okay, you stay by the door. If I'm not back within 2 minutes, you close the door and you leave me in there. Because I don't want Caitlin to die. It's a very powerful scene, and it does carry a little bit more weight on Cisco because he was the one who locked Ronnie out and pretty much left him for dead. Now, the very, very tough and very gripping kind of episode, it's just, I don't know what to say. It was a very emotional episode between all the characters. But it does expand upon more Barry's guilt of, you know, how he didn't save one of the people that the Mist killed. He's upset, and this does lead to one of my favorite lines of the episode. For every person you save, there is going to be one that you can't. Which is an important tenet of the superhero kind of mythos, is that you won't save everyone. And I know superhero movies, television shows, comics are made to show you that, oh, if you're ever in trouble, there's these people who can help. But nowadays, you know, you can't help everyone. There's always going to be a person that you leave behind. And this episode really does touch upon that, and you get very touching dialogue between, you know, Barry and Joe and Barry's dad. It's very well done. The romance was a little much. There was a bit in it, but I mean, it was okay. It wasn't like, it didn't ruin like any of the goodness in this episode. One of the best things that happened, one of the best scenes that happened was when Barry's dad was getting interviewed by the cops about, you know, because they think he killed Barry's mom. So he basically says, no, I didn't kill my wife. Why would I kill my wife? I never did that. It was the man in yellow who was, there's this spark, this electricity, and he killed my wife. And, you know, the cops aren't taking it because it doesn't, you know, we're not in a time where heroes exist, you know, or villains. So they kind of just think it's kind of a delusion, or this guy's crazy, or he's trying to get out of the kind of mess he's gotten into, and Joe obviously doesn't believe him. Joe can't believe him. It's not practical. It's not a thing that's believable. So there's this great line that he says when he's like when the cops are taking him out of the interview room. He's basically like, Joe, you know me, you know I would never do this. I would, that kind of, oh God. His episode was very much just like ripped the dream, just right in the feels. And it did have funny scenes, but it was mostly to kind of establish more of a deepness to the character, which I thought was much needed, because Cisco for a while felt a little flat. Caitlin felt a little flat, and Harrison, they all kind of felt very flat. But this episode is more about explaining the motivations behind the teams at Star Labs. And I think that was very well executed. Bravo, whoever wrote this episode. Very well done. Must say though, the villain, very, very menacing. I don't even know his name. He played he was Zaz in Gotham. Every line that he did was just fucking just creepy and unnerving. He's got this look in his eyes that's like, I'm going to kill you now, and then he's got this weariness in his voice. It's very serial killer-y, and it's very off-putting. I think it was very well done. He's very well executed villain, I must say, for the amount of time he had. And it's one of the very rare villains that doesn't die and they lock him up. Now, I like that too. I also like that Star Labs is being used to hold all the metahumans that they manage to capture and they don't kill. And I do like how they makeshift it so they can hold these. It does make sense. You can't really store a guy who's made of gas in Iron Heights. He's not a human. He's a meta-human, right? But other than that, great show. Took itself very seriously, which I liked. Had funny bits. I really liked that. And it expanded on characters that, quite frankly, needed to be expanded upon further. It showed guilt, it showed anguish, it showed sadness, and it was such a good episode. I would give it, I think I'm going to give it one of my highest reviews, one of my highest scores. I'm going to give it a 10 out of 10. It was a very well done episode. It was so good. Everyone, don't skip the third episode of Flash. You need to watch it. It shows motivation and everything. It's such a good episode. So, that's it. This is your host, Goblin Green, signing off.